What's going on, guys? This is Burrs, and today we're going to talk about fall lawn care. I'm going to do an overseeding, do some dethatching, and some core aeration with some Brinly products made in the USA. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay down some grass seed and some fertilizer and peat moss and get this all done for the fall. We moved in here a year ago and it was a little late to do that. And there were some other things we wanted to attend to first. So we went ahead and did that stuff in the springtime because you technically want to seed in the fall because you're not going to have a whole bunch of weeds and infestation of crap because they're gone, at least here in the Northeast. So I went ahead and just said, you know what, we're just going to roll with the grass seed that we have right now, which isn't horrible. It looks green, but there's definitely some areas that need some improvement. And we're just going to go ahead and do the whole thing, give it a good once over before the fall time ends here. And let's talk about the supplies we got here. All right, so first things first, you're going to need grass seed, fertilizer. That's the basics of having to go do an overseed or reseed or whatever you're doing. That's the basics. And the tall fescue mix is going to be great for the summertime and pretty much overall. And I do have some shady areas where I'm going to mix in some sun and shade in with the tall fescue, but this is my backup bag. I'm still waiting for the Rebels tall fescue, which seems to be a really good seed. It's going to arrive here in 2 days, but I also bought this just in case I need a little bit more. I got a 40-pound bag of the Rebels tall fescue, and I got this backup bag, and then this, like I said, for the sun and for the shady areas. The majority of my yard gets sun all the time, particularly in the front, and particularly half of the backyard for pretty much all day. So that's where a tall fescue is going to come in handy. Also, you're going to want to use a starter fertilizer. Honestly, you can buy any starter fertilizer. This one just seemed to be the best price for what the poundage I got. And I don't really put down a heavy amount of starter fertilizer, but you want to put a healthy amount down. You could also use something like going with a starter fert real light and then doing something like a Milorganite on top of it for long term. Maybe even something like this. This is a nice simple lawn solution, which I'm going to use before the end of the year is done here. But all that stuff you can get on Amazon. I got links down below to the majority of the stuff that you see here. But so Milorganite is usually something I will put on as my last thing I'm going to do for the year, and that'll give it a good organic matter for the springtime. Another thing you're going to need is peat moss. Some people use straw. You can use whatever you want. I just like peat moss because it adds more organic material and positivity into the soil. So I do like using that. And I do have some in-ground garden soil. And I also have this lawn soil, which has a little bit of fertilizer in it already. So I'll use this to fill in some spots that are a little bit low. And then I'll also use that garden soil that's made for in-ground use if I have to. That stuff's awesome because it has manure in it, and it really grows grass good. So what's the plan? First off, we're going to walk the property and take a look at things and see where our problem areas are. So as you can see, there is clover and stuff in here, and there's lots of thatch. It's just a lot of thatch in most of the yard here. And clover, and I don't really mind clover that much because it's green. If stuff's green, I don't mind it as far as weeds and crap goes, but I definitely need to get some more grass in here and fill this in. You can just see that it's a lot of dead crap, and you need to get that out of there and get some new fresh grass in. I want to try to at least give a better effort here. Coming down here, there's definitely areas for improvement. Little low spots, but can work that out and fix it while we're doing all this. As far as the soil, erosion in certain areas, you might have some low spots. We're gonna go walk the yard, figure out where they are. I know where most are, and then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and mow low, maybe one click shorter than normal. Then I'm gonna do the dethatching with this Brinly dethatcher over here. I'm gonna hook it up to the tractor, drive it all around, get as much stuff up as I can, because when you're putting the seed down, fertilizer and the peat moss and stuff, when you put all that down, you want it to actually go on the ground. If you don't dethatch, you're going to probably have a lot of stuff that's going to be sitting up off the ground, and you're not going to see results. So whether you're using something like this, which is, I think it's a Greenworks, which I got this year in springtime, and that's great, but for half an acre like I got, it's gonna take forever to use that thing. And I hate things with cords. I got that for a purpose. I'm gonna sell it on Let Go. But using something like this Brinly, which hooks up to the tractor, it's a 48-inch width. Hook it up on the tractor, run it around the yard a bunch, get a bunch of thatch up and crap, and that's our first step right there. So mow low and then dethatch. Alright, so let's see what this picked up here. See all different little pieces. And that was set up just like they said. So they said half an inch off the ground. You can see what that did. I'm going to go ahead and mow this all up, and we'll see how much we got. So one option is you could just do what I did, do the dethatch. This Brinly is awesome. Do the dethatch with that, pick it all up, go down one notch, which is like 1/4 of an inch on your mower, bag it all, and then hit it with some fertilizer. I mean, that's one option you could do if you didn't want to go through all the trouble of aerating and reseeding. As you can see, I mean, when you look at the lawn, it looks decent, it looks good. It's just when you get close up and you see, stuff that's not grass, and I want to get rid of that. So I want to thicken the lawn up. But one option is you could just do, dethatch, fertilize. It'll look pretty good. Alright, so let's take a look here. Here is all the stuff. You can see the difference here. But I mean, look at this big old pile of stuff we picked up. And the yard looks really good. You don't want to say, why are you doing what you're doing? Well, when you look in different spots, you can definitely tell that it has room for improvement. So I'm going to go over it one more time actually with the Brinly dethatcher and see what we got. Alright, so we got some more, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and mow that up too. Alright, so how much more do we got? Well, you can see right there how much more I picked up. And that was, I didn't change the mower setting, the blade setting at all, so that was pretty much 100% thatch. So I'm going to go ahead and do the front yard a little bit and tidy up for the day. That was a long day, a lot of work. Part 1 done. So we started out by mowing the lawn at normal length. And then I went through and dethatched, really good. Then I push mowed because I don't have a bagger on the riding mower, so I push bagged at one setting lower. So I got a little bit of grass, but not much. And then dethatched again, and then mowed again, and then mowed the other side of my house. So it's been a long day. So that's part 1. So that's what you want to do. If you're going to do this all in one day and you're going to get started really early, you would do then, right now, you would watch part 2, which is going to be core aeration with this Brinly down here. That Brinly over there, that Brinly dethatcher, that thing was badass. Easy to use, really picked up a ton of stuff. And it stayed together and didn't, I mean, it's made in America, so what do you expect? You expect to have some good stuff. So that's like I think it's like $113, $125, something like that. So honestly, I could have got away. The main reason I want to do this is because when I do like post weed control, because all that stuff's not grass, even though it's green, it'll get brown, and then it'll really look gross if I just spray the whole lawn down. So that's one reason why I want to get more actual grass into the lawn, so that if I do post weed control, the lawn doesn't get brown, because the majority of it will be green instead of, like there's a lot of clover and stuff that's gonna brown up if you use post weed control. I don't mind it because it's green, but again, if I use that stuff, it's gonna get brown. So Brinly, I'll put a link down below to that. Love it. Really glad I got that. We'll see how that works, but in part 2 we're gonna do the core aeration, seeding, fertilizing, and I gotta do some lime. Where is it? Somewhere around here, over there. Gotta do a little bit of that for the areas where there's pine and evergreen over there. So we're gonna do grass seed. This is not the grass seed. I'm still waiting. Monday it should arrive. Rebels, the Rebels tall fescue. This is the backup if I need any more tall fescue, and sun and shade, and then starter fert. So that's part 2. Thanks for watching part 1, and look forward to seeing you in part 2. If you guys are doing this to your lawn and you want to put down below how you're doing, how it's working out for you, and what products you're using. That's the main thing. People love products, so I'll put links down below to the majority of this stuff. Some stuff you can get cheaper on Amazon, some stuff you can get the same price on Amazon, and some stuff's really expensive on Amazon. Like, I can get this for like 15 bucks on Amazon, it's like $33. So sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. So leave your comments down below, and until next time, later.